ancestors? What was their lives like? New technology is able to help us answer these questions. Today I'm going to tell you about the wonders of LiDAR technology and why it's so important to me and why it should be important to you. I'm currently 2 years into getting my history degree, and I've always been interested in history and the tools needed for discoveries such as LiDAR. Today I'll be giving you a brief history of Central America, and then I'll tell you about how LiDAR works and the importance of the discoveries using LiDAR. The first topic I would like to discuss is the history of Central and South America. Many people have this perception of Native Americans that thinks of them as living in the Stone Age. While in North America this can be true, it's far from true in places such as southern Mexico, Guatemala, and even places such as Colombia or Peru. Much of the history of these places and their people were lost in time, and I'll tell you why. When the Spanish first came to the Americas, they brought disease with them, killing what is now said to have killed about 98% of the population of all Aztec, Mayan, and Inca people within just a couple of years. This was far faster than the Spanish were able to explore and conquer. When the Spanish reached some of these places in their conquest, entire kingdoms have been wiped out by disease alone. By the time people were able to return to these places, the jungle had grown over it. Elaborate road systems, pyramids, castles, and military buildings such as defensive walls and strategic forts, leaving them with little knowledge of the land's inhabitants. Now that I've told you about the history, it's important for you to know what LiDAR technology is and how it works. LiDAR is a very complex technology, so I'll try my best to explain it in a way everyone can understand. Essentially, what LiDAR does is send signals that bounce off the desired element to determine a distance. Similar, but not to be confused with sonar, which is what they use for a fish finder and a fishing boat. The main difference would be that sonar sends signals of sound waves while LiDAR uses light pulses. But really, the use and objective is the same: see the invisible. Imagine one of those TV loading screens with the logo dot that bounces back and forth across the screen. When using LiDAR from planes, they bounce these signals off the ground and back to the plane. When the signals are received, they're able to determine the distance of the ground, and when hundreds or thousands are sent at a time, it gives them a complete layout of the jungle floor. Upon further analysis, these engineers are able to choose what they see, making these trees and bushes disappear on their 3D maps. Now to let you know why I started talking about Native Americans, and I'm now talking about technological advancements. Over the years, LiDAR has been used for new discoveries in archaeology. With its ability to detect the unseen and give layout to the shape of the ground underneath the dense jungle trees and vegetation of the Amazon, we are able to use it to find many structures that were taken back by the jungle when civilizations died from Spanish disease. This is so useful because this terrain is so dense and treacherous that even the small country of Guatemala, which closely resembles the size of the US state of Tennessee, has uncovered entire cities with this technology, but they had no idea were there. Now that I've told you about the LiDAR and the lost history of the continent, it is crucial that we cover the importance of these new discoveries. The importance of these discoveries is that they are history. Though history may be more important to me than the average person, I personally believe that it's by far the most important subject. That is because history is the only thing that allows us to progress as a species. To further argue this, there is no subject that does not contain history or completely rely on it as a key element. For any record of the past written to learn from is history. For example, math goes back as far as ancient Greece, and they actually did it so well that we use many of their methods today, which is why algebra contains so many Greek words. So without history, the blood, sweat, and tears of the people before us, we would still be scraping rocks together trying to make fire. Besides basic knowledge, history also contains philosophy, religion, and culture that is essential to our way of life. Culture is an element many Americans lack because of extreme disconnect with history and ethnicity. Primarily because we have been so thoroughly mixed within the continent. That is why it's even more important that we learn about and preserve the culture and history of our ancestors. For example, I've taken it upon myself to learn much about my ancestors and their cultures, this being one. My father is Mexican, and Mexican heritage typically consists of European ancestry such as Spanish and Portuguese, but we also have a large amount of Mayan and Aztec DNA. So the more I learn about this civilization, the more I know about an entire branch of my family tree. And without LiDAR technology and the archaeologists responsible for the discoveries, I know very little about my ancestors and where they come from. My sources consisted of History.com, Lost Treasures of Maya, which is a National Geographic show that I watch religiously, my own research in SBCC history courses, and my travels in these regions and visits to the museums and archaeological sites. And I will cover what I discussed today. Today I talked about the significance of LiDAR technology in uncovering lost histories, particularly in Central and South America. First, I discussed the lost history of Central and South America. Second, I explained the workings of LiDAR technology and its importance in archaeological exploration. Finally, I emphasized the broader significance of these discoveries. As we continue to uncover the mysteries of our past, let us remember that our history shapes our present and future. Thank you.